just saw that.
That's the world's smallest liquor store.
Yeah, yeah. Do you market it like
Yeah.
that? Yeah, it's hilarious. We were Beth just walked up.
It's smaller than my pool room. Yeah.
But she's like, what the hell is this? I was like, I think it's a real store. So it's just a counter and shelves. And
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Basic, basic stuff. And
Sure.
you got to come in here and get a bartender goes out with you to,
I love it.
yeah. The beauty of that liquor store is that the overhead is some fluorescent lights and
That's it.
what else? That's it. Well, insurance,
Right.
which is minuscule.
Nothing. Because it's
Never
what,
heat
12
it.
by
It's
12.
alcohol, it never freezes, so. So the overhead is nothing.
I love
It's
it.
Great.
Yeah. So you graduate college, you come home, and what was the first inclination? Because you've been here for 38 years.
Yes.
So.
Well, as I said, I was playing in band, I was painting houses,
Okay. Which is common, sure.
Making
That's
enough money.
musicians and
Still staying at home,
Sure.
so. And this opportunity came up. And I talked to a partner. I had a partner originally who unfortunately passed away early into the business. But
So you had a partner here?
yeah, originally for only a few years before he passed away. And then so we just started checking into it. Seemed like a good investment. Of course, like everybody too young, we paid too much for it. But
Right.
obviously it's worked out for me. I've been here a long time.
Yes, I would say so. Now, so getting into this though, you didn't. So a lot of people will work in their establishment and then eventually own it. But this opportunity came up with a partner,
Right.
and you guys.
Oh, we jumped in both feet.
You did.
with no bartending experience at all, and certainly no restaurant experience. Now back then it was only probably 25% food back in those days. See, when we bought it, the drinking age in this state was 18. So we used to get a lot of Pennsylvania people over here.
Right.
'Cause we're only, 3-4 miles from the Pennsylvania line.
Sure.
And the very next year it went to 19, and the very next year it went to 21.
Yeah. Oh, so that was my generation. Yeah.
81, 82,
That's-
83.
Yep, that switch
so
over.
we had to adapt to, selling more food,
Right.
which we have. And now we're more like 75 to 80% food here.
Yeah, the food is phenomenal here.
Well, thank you.
And
Appreciate that.
everybody, Beth can attest to this. Anytime we tell people we're coming here, everybody's got a favorite dish and a story.
That's nice.
And I think that kind of lends itself to, when the first time I came in here, you immediately feel comfortable in here. And Bridget's awesome. Everybody just makes you feel welcome.
I've had a lot of people that have worked for me, both out front and in the kitchen for a long time. So I think that lends itself to an at-ease atmosphere.
It does.
Nobody's panicking, even when they're waiting in line for tables.
Sure. Well, they've seen it all.
Nobody panics. Yeah.
Right. Because when you have a crew that is just calm, cool, and collected, that translates right down into the
exactly
feel
right.
of the entire place. So now Bridget's been with you for how long?
Oh gosh, I don't. You have to ask her.
It's been a long, long time.
25 years or so.
Yeah, I think a couple decades, because she
Yeah.
told us when we were eating here. Now, who else? There's got to be a core constituency of employees that are.
Well, Colleen in the kitchen's been with me every bit that long, and there's some waitresses
Wow.
that have also been here 30 some years.
So this is how I think you become, because you're really ingrained in the community here. This isn't just like a tavern restaurant. This is part of the community.
Right.
And it's part of people's memories and their history and their family. But that's how it happens. You have these long-term employees that care so much. There's ownership involved in that.
Right.
Yeah. Now, if you go back to when you and your partner bought it, did you add anything on right away, or
No.
So
No. What we did very little remodeling because it was a successful. It's that old. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Sure.
Type of thing. And then eventually we added the pool room on, expanded the kitchen.
You did.
Tremendously, and changed the bathrooms around, remodeled the bathrooms. I mean, those were the main things that we've done.
Was the kitchen like a little
It was a
galley
little,
kitchen?
yeah, because once
it
again,
wasn't-
back then we weren't doing that much food.
No, it was an afterthought, right?
So when we started with one deep fryer, now we have 6.
How long was it before you guys did that expansion? Was it a good decade or so? or-
No, we realized, like I said, after that drinking age changed, this whole business changed.
And you had to accommodate.
We weren't getting the drinking business that we had been getting, so we
Right.
had to adapt to something else.
It was a smart move, though.
Yeah, well, you had to.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think as an entrepreneur and a small business owner, that you have to react because you have no choice. Like the public
Right.
and the society, socially, culturally, you have to react to those things, and you got to try to figure out what's the best move for us. And now your menu is fantastic. That's grown, I'm sure, over the years to encompass this full sweep that we
Yeah,
have now.
tremendously, yes.
Right. Everything that we have was awesome. Everybody loves the food here. What do you? I mean, do you have? Is it Colleen? You said.
Well, no, our kitchen manager, Cindy, she's running the show now, and she does
She
a great
is.
job. Colleen started originally. She's been back there. There's a couple others who've been back there a while.
Right.
But what we specialize in, where I think we got our name, our fish fry is pretty famous. But when we started chicken wings 25 years ago, that really, I mean, I think we're probably more famous for chicken wings than anything.
And that is one of the, if it's chicken wings and the fish fry and the burgers are the top three things that we hear.
I would say.
So, I mean, you can't tell us if you have a secret or not, but it's funny because chicken wings, when they're great, it's out of this world good.
Yeah. Well, what I strove to do, and I invented the chicken wing recipes, the original ones, the mild, medium, hot, and extra hot. And I'll tell you, I ate so many chicken wings at that point, I got tired of them. I really
Yeah,
to this
I'm
day,
sure.
I'll have them, but not
You just
that
don't,
many.
yeah.
But the problem is, you try to make an extra hot, you try one, if it's no good, you got to wait a day to come back.
Yeah, it burns your, it does, it burns it out, man.
But we started with that and it really just took off. I think because our recipes were pretty good.
So you've been here for how long?
15 years.
And prior restaurant experience?
No,
None.
just here. Yep.
So what did you apply for when you applied? Was it kitchen help?
For kitchen, yeah.
So did they start you like dishwashing?
Yep, started dishes and pizzas and subs and just the Outback. And then I slowly worked my way up front, doing fryers and the grill and
Isn't it funny, like with life, because you don't really think you just applied for a job,
Right.
and you're just like, oh, I'll work here for a couple of years
Yeah.
through school, and now you're here.
Yeah,
You're part
we-
of the business.
yeah, when we were growing up, my parents and I, we would come here every Thursday. We would get wings and like steak sandwiches, Greek
Sure.
burgers. Every Thursday we would place an order. And then when I got a job, it's like, yes, like loved it. I was so excited.
It's a big deal, man.
Yeah.
And this place, when you came here as a kid, what did you get? Is it a dish that's still on the menu?
Yeah, it was my favorite was a Creek burger.
A Craig burger.
A Creek burger.
Creek burger.
Yeah.
What's in the Creek burger?
It's
straight
our
up-
smaller patty with mayo, lettuce, tomato, onion.
I had the blue cheeseburger and it was incredible.
Yeah.
So
It is pretty good.
fresh.
Yes.
And the roll, everything was like super fresh cut fries.
It is,
you
yes.
know? And
Yeah.
it's what you used to get in places like this, but you don't get a lot anymore.
No.
You know, fish fries. Do you do the big batter?
Yep, we make the fish batter every day. We do fish fries Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
And that's famous around here, I'm sure. Right?
Yes.
Now, did your family still live around here? Or?
Oh, yeah.
So did they still come here?
Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of awesome. You get
At
to
least
make the
once
food.
or twice a week. Yeah.
Do they really?
Oh, yeah,
Like once or
we-
twice a week?
We love it here.
Aw, that's really. Now, desserts. Do you guys make your own desserts and stuff?
On the
or-
weekends, yeah,
You
we do.
What do you make?
It could be like
Oh, do you change it up?
We do. Every weekend we change it up. So it could be a cake or brownies or
Oh, that's
something
fun.
just crazy off the wall.
Well, you get to play.
Cheesecake. Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
'Cause now the menu, do you have menu items that fluctuate throughout the course of a week? So it's stable?
Yep. Everything's the same. The only thing that's different is we have like a weekend. The fish is on the weekend.
Okay.
But that's it.
But the desserts you get to play with?
Yeah.
Right. So in any long-term employed place, can you guys just switch up? Like if something's happening out here, can you just jump right in and go?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So that's why Craig's like, I could leave for 2 weeks. Because, usually you don't have that. You have
Right.
somebody's very specialized and they kick.
Knows what
Yeah.
one job. Yeah. No, everyone is an Outback. Everyone's trained to do everything.
Like I'd never been here before, but I felt like I'd been here before.
Oh, sure, we get locals, but then we'll get a lot of tourists,
Yeah.
peak and peak people and.
Well, in the winter, it's jumping in here, right? Through the
It-
peak and peak season.
Actually, yeah, Peak and Peak, we do a lot of business from them. We're just as busy in the summer, if not busier, than we are in the winter, believe it or not.
Yeah.
The summer months, from the Findlay Lake influx and all the tourists in the area.
Sure.
And the golf course at the peak, brings some people in.
Right, and these places are getting harder and harder to find.
Well, they are.
And they're more and more special. Like when you go to a lake like this is the type of place that I remember my grandpa taking me to, and my grandma on Fridays for fish fries on Honeyway. It was their little it was this little tavern that was set off. It wasn't part of the town, but it kind of was like this.
Yeah.
It was just far enough away.
Yeah.
But you have these memories, And
Yeah, these places are disappearing. Unfortunately, it's the the franchise mentality.
Yeah.
It's hurting a lot of these places.
But it makes you more special. That's what I
Sure.
always say.
Yeah.
It's every time you lose one, that just pumps you up even
Well,
more.
that's true.
Yeah. So now you purchased the place, and your partner are a couple years in, and he splits. Now you're a sole owner, and now the drinking age. This is right around that time, right? The drinking age is, and now your partner's gone. Drinking age is going crazy. You're trying to respond to all these challenges and make the best decisions that you can. So you expand your menu, you expand your kitchen.
Yeah.
Now that takes us into the mid '80s.
Correct.
What are we seeing as far as clientele? Are we still heavily local, or?
Well, you're still yes, still a lot of local people, but you're still getting that influx of tourists in there because of Peak and Peak and Findlay Lake. And stuff.
Now, Peak and Peak's been open for just about as long as this tavern.
Well, they were mid '60s.
Oh, so they've been open
Yeah.
for a long, long time.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
So, this kind of naturally fits into that whole
Sure.
idea that you can, finish your day at Peak and Peak and get a bite to eat and get a drink here.
Correct.
So now through the '80s up into the '90s, did a lot change as far as menu and
No, we have not changed a whole lot since we added the chicken wings. We'll tweak the menu now and again.
Right.
We used to have steaks. We don't do steaks anymore. We found that this type of place, there really wasn't that big a market for it.
Sure.
People come here and they want fish and wings and things.
Yep. Now, where do you go in the '90s? Anything changed through the '90s?
No, like I said, just, I've gone through a few managers, all of them good. Bridget is now the overall manager.
But you're looking at a 40-year span, so
Yeah.
you're going to go through a couple,
But you'd be surprised how many. It's different now because you lose a lot of the younger kids. They don't have the attention span or whatever it is that
Sure.
they did years ago.
Well, work ethic.
Well, and that too.
Yeah,
Quite
say it.
frankly, that
you don't
too.
have to say it. I'll say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have back then maybe 25 employees, and I would only put out 28 W-2 forms at the end of the year.
Right.
So that tells you that you weren't getting any turnover.
No.
Now it's a little different.
Right.
Most of it's the bus people and stuff.
Yeah.
But the core people, you stay here pretty much.
Through and through.
Yeah.
Now, Findlay's gotten better. You were telling me. So it's improved. Lake Findlay
Yes.
has improved over the last few decades. The property owners have now taken a better interest in the properties.
Correct.
That's raised up. Peak and Peak has expanded significantly.
Correct, yes. Yes.
Because now they have all that summer activity and the
Yep.
fall activity. And when you started this, Peak and Peak was just really
It was skiing.
And it just took a couple decades for people to figure
And
out.
not only just skiing, but skiing at the mercy of the weather because their snowmaking was minimal at that point. So
Right.
if it didn't snow, now they have tremendous snowmaking. So
Right,
even
but-
if it's marginal winter,
you can still get by, right?
where you lose on that though is the snowmobilers. We're a big snowmobile destination here
Are you
too.
guys on the path?
Yes.
You are?
Yes.
So, and because you've been around for so long, I bet you you got to be well known among that crowd.
Yeah, and
Right.
that's something that the weather dictates though. Like the last 3 years, snowmobiling has not been good at all.
But when you have a good year, it's awesome.
Exactly.
Right? So now you take it to you're really established at this point with your business, 40 years on. You're just maintaining and stewarding the business at this point.
Correct.
Now, this is about, you're almost curating, right? Because I could tell when I walked in that just me, if I come here more than 3 times, I don't want anything to change.
Well, and that's what we kind of strive for. We're not looking for big change. I get that all the time. Why don't you expand? Why don't you expand? I'm saying, well, first of all, if you come in here on a Saturday night, it's the same people week after week that are waiting for tables. So
Right.
obviously the wait is worth what
Yes.
you're getting. And I've seen so many places, let's expand, and then it's a whole different place. It changes everything.
My
Place or-
grandmother lived at the bar drinking her whiskey and water.
really?
Yes.
And so
Her picture's in the dining room, actually.
Oh, you're kidding. Well, we got to get a shot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So she called you at home and said,
No,
hey.
the manager then, Sue, did. They knew the Ridge had closed and they had a position open up. So I started cooking, and I think I just started in the kitchen and filling in waitressing and bartending.
Part-time, full-time?
Part-time, yeah.
Part-time, because of the right, your girl was at
Yep,
home?
yep. It takes a while to get in here.
Yeah.
Like, we've all been here so long.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yes,
Right.
so it took. He is lucky, and Craig treats us so well too.
And he
That
knows
has
it.
to be said too.
Yeah, and he's amazing.
Yeah, he takes good care of us.
So you started in the kitchen.
Yes.
Then moved to the bar.
Yes,
And
bar
then
and
kind of-
waitress.
So
And I still do both. I
You do.
really enjoy cooking. I feel like we do a really good job with. Like there's food up, someone runs it, we make sure they have another drink.
But see, now
great
that's the
team.
flow.
Yes.
And the best places have that.
Correct.
And
it's about getting customers to come back.
And
every
that's
time.
all you're thinking about.
Exactly.
And that flow and
Right.
that ability to switch up on the fly
Yes.
makes all the difference for your customers.
Yes. Help out. You see someone struggling, just help out.
And nobody's thinking about it. And,
Right.
and you don't have to ask each other.
No, I was gonna say we have such just wonderful.
Yeah, you guys do the antenna. I was saying before, you guys in one look on a
Yeah.
busy night, you could be back here in the pool room and look up at the bar.
And be like,
Got
coming.
it. Yeah,
Yep,
got it.
coming. Yes,
We're done.
exactly. But 10 plus years, you really
You just
know
know
how
each other.
works, and you care about each other.
Sure.
So that's very important.
It's a
too.
family.
It is. It's very much
What's a
family.
favorite part of this for you?
Favorite part of the tavern? Well, definitely my coworkers. That goes without saying, but our customers. I love the relationships we've built, and
Right.
I mean, and plus I love the busyness of it. Like I can't imagine having a job where I am sitting and you know what I mean? Like
It would drive me
crazy.
insane.
Like I need that fast
couldn't
pace, and
do
I love
it, yeah.
I like to go home and be like, I worked hard.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
I
I'm
can
tired.
sleep.
I'm putting my feet up.
Because you earned it.
Yes,
You know?
exactly. No, I
and I
agree
think
with
I
you.
got that. That was my parents too. Like
Yes.
you had to earn that thing. And that means even your own downtime.
Right.
Put out. A lady told me last week, she's in her 80s, and I looked like crap when I showed up. We were doing a website redesign, and I
Okay.
do all of that. So I didn't sleep for a couple days, a couple hours here and there, and I was shot. And I walked in, and she said, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I did this project." And she was in her 80s, and she looked awesome for her age. And she said, I have to tell you, because we were talking about how much I work, and you
Yes.
do the same.
Yeah,
And she was
yeah.
like, "We're not here to rest."
Very true.
Years.
It
So
makes
now-
you a better. I feel like everyone should have to do something in customer
I do too.
service.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just to. Some people forget how to treat each other.
Yes.
Kindness,
It is-
patience is huge. Sometimes things are out of your control.
Yeah,
It's made me a better person for sure.
Well, because you see everything. Every person's got a story. You don't
Correct.
know what the person's going through.
Correct.
Patience, kindness, and gratitude
Yes.
are three things I think that.
Recipe for a good
Yeah,
life.
yeah, and we
Yes.
forget that
Yes.
as humans.
I
And
do. Life gets busy, and I don't think people intentionally do it, but you get so busy and preoccupied in yourself. that-
Sure. And that's one thing I've noticed here is this level. Craig said it was, and it's true. He said there's a level of calm
Yes.
with all of you guys.
Yes.
So that's
Like it could be
rare.
falling apart.
You're steady.
They won't know it. You know what I mean? You just gotta smile.
Yeah.
Like it's happening. Yeah, it's fine.
fine. We got it.
It'll recover.
Eye of the storm, calm as
Yes.
smooth as silk, but chaos
Yes.
elsewhere. And
Correct.
that's what I grew up in, and I was telling
Yes.
Craig that for him.
So you love it.
you do love it,
know.
and you can navigate it.
Yes.
And not a lot of people can. I think that's kind of the line of demarcation to say you're meant for this industry or you're not meant for this
Correct.
industry. Because
And you should know right away.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
do,
I feel
right?
like, if you hate it the first day, okay, but definitely,
Yeah, if it's the panic that sets in.
Correct.
You know?
Correct.
But that makes the business flow
Yes.
the way it does.
Yes.
It was busy as heck in here,
Yeah.
smooth as silk.
Yeah.
You were awesome,
Oh,
and
thank
you
you.
spent time with us. That I was
Yeah.
I was almost getting nervous for you.
Right?
Yeah, but
No.
it was fine.
No.
I mean, you had it.
No, it's great. Like I said, great teamwork. Probably.
If somebody didn't know about French Creek Tavern, what would you tell them? Like you're out at a store, you run into somebody, and they're like, "Yeah, I've heard of that place," but
I said, oh, I would probably tell them we're known for our chicken wings. You should try them. You know what I mean? That's
Right.
definitely wings.
it's been around for how long now? How many years has this been here?
The actual tavern.
Craig's on 38,
I would say Craig's had it 38, and then I know it had some previous owners.
so probably like 50.
Yes, and I
plus.
think my grandparents used to dance upstairs in the barn. My dad had said he would be.
See,
Yep, it was like a
Are you
dance hall.
kidding me?
Yeah, and my dad would talk about like being in the backseat of the car waiting
I
for them to
love
come
that.
down. Yes.
But when
So that had to be.
yeah, you're talking 60, 70 plus.
Yes. Yes.
It's tradition.
It is. Oh, traditions are very big. Yes.
And because I noticed that through and through and through here.
Yes.
There's a care, even in the countryside here,
Yes.
which is why I pulled in that Vermont reference.
Yes.
Because Vermont looks so well loved,
Yes.
and this looks well loved.
It is.
You know?
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I think there's a sense of pride
Yes.
in what you own and what's yours, and people, you work hard for it. There's a
Yeah.
lot of opportunities here. If you're not a dairy farmer,
You gotta
You know what
hustle.
I mean? You have to. So yeah.
And that goes into your sense of pride. Like, I made my life work here.
Correct.
And it's easy, because it's an easy out to say, oh, you know what, I'm going to check out and go to Cincinnati and get that
Yeah.
office
Get
job.
out of here and go.
Yeah.
But no, it's right.
And you chose, it's just like everybody else, you
Correct.
chose to stay
Correct.
and build your
Yes.
life here.
My family's here. You know what I mean?
And this is your family.
This is my family.
Yeah?
Yep.
It's awesome. So, like, when I come here, like, I want to see Bridget, I want to see
Sure.
you, I want to see the awesome Clymer and the awesome George, and I want everything the way it is.
Yeah.
Because life moves so fast now, and we're all so stressed. It's
Yeah.
comforting to go to a place that you know and love.
That's the cheers factor.
It is a cheers
Yeah.
factor. That's awesome, right?
Yeah.
I love that when I'm in this place, I feel that history that's here, right? First time here, I felt like I had been here 100 times.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a good feeling.
Well, and it was Bridget. It was the other customers that were in here. Everybody was happy. The food was awesome. People were having fun.
Sure.
And there's a comfort level here. And that's why, this is settled into the community in the way that it has, I think, right?
I think that's correct. Like I said, it's been here for a long, long time. And
40 years for you, almost.
generations grew up and they bring their kids here, and then their kids come back.
Right.
Like that have cottages over there and stuff. We see that all the time.
And this is one of those places.
Yeah.
It's tied into Findlay Lake in a way that most places can't be because of the amount of time it's been here, the amount of memories that have been bestowed upon this place, right?
Yep, exactly.
Now, before you owned it, did your parents used to come here when you were a kid?
Oh yeah, all the time.
So-
they used to bring me down here when I was, for dinner when I was a kid.
See, how cool is that?
Yeah. So what is cool is that local boy buys local restaurant and is still here talking about it 38 years later.
Yeah,
You know,
and that's what it is. You're
Yeah.
the stewarding of this business now, because that's what you're kind of doing,
Yeah.
right? You're maintaining this history and it's so hypothetically, let's say that I've been coming here for 4 generations, right? So we've got my grandpa, we've got my dad, we've got me, now we've got my kid. If I show up next summer and this isn't here, that hurts.
Oh, sure.
And so that's that's what you're doing. You're just making sure that we're just a steady Eddie, right?
Remember, speaking of the change thing, I remember when I decided to put this pool room on, I was scared to death that it would change the whole deal, but it ended up working fine because it's so much removed from the rest of the, it's a little
I
private
thought that
area.
was super smart. So was there anything there at
There
all?
was just a little entryway out onto the street, maybe 3 foot wide. It was a useless area.
Right. And you
So-
expanded it into that.
Yes, and made a game room out of that.
But what's nice about it is that it is separate. So I can take my beer in there and hang out with my buddies and play.
We see this all the time. People from, say, Peak and Peak, they've skied with their kids all day. They're little kids.
Sure.
They walk through the door, they walk up to the bar and get a roll of quarters. Go back there, sit in the back room in the dining room by themselves and have a couple glasses of wine and send their kids out here to play games.
Yeah.
And we see this all the time. It's
Just
give us 20 minutes,
Yeah, because the kids all day
Yeah.
are in demand
Exactly.
of their attention
So,
and time,
yeah.
right? That was kind of the idea, though, right?
Yeah,
To give
just-
this
yeah.
separate.
Yeah, I wanted to keep that completely separate. I didn't want a pool table in here. No.
Sure.
We inherited this. And I wouldn't take that out. I don't care.
This?
The shuffleboard table.
I
yeah.
haven't seen. So my parents.
There's
haven't-
very few of those left in the world.
Yes.
Well, for one thing, they take up, I could put 4 more tables in there, but I am not taking that out.
No.
That'd be one where if you came in, you hadn't been here in a few years, you'd go, oh man, that's gone.
I love it though, man. I mean, I haven't
Yeah.
seen one of these since I was a kid.
Yeah.
There was a place I think at Strikersville that had one.
Some clubs have them, but not many restaurant bars have them.
Yeah, but it's super fun, and it makes it. It sets the tone.
Yeah. You come in and you can play games here. And people don't mind. They sit here and people are playing shuffleboard. And
Sure.
They don't care.
Now,
I bartend, waitress, work in the kitchen, anywhere they need
like
me.
everybody, right?
Most of us, there is
But,
a handful.
yeah, we've talked about the flow here, which is really unique to the place.
My dad was one of the ones that came here drinking when Pennsylvania was 21 and he was 18, New York was 18.
So over the border.
Yeah.
Is that how did he know this place? And
Yeah.
that he was like, hey, they need.
They came in, we used to come here all the time.
Oh, you did?
and
Okay.
My parents came here one day and said that their daughter needed a job, so they're like, yeah, bring her in for an interview, and
Right.
I met with Bridget, and
Favorite night of the week?
I really like Monday nights, and I like Thursday nights.
Yeah. Anything particular about them? Just a feel?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just a feel.
And what's the total crew here? How many people work here? About 20 or 30 or something?
Around 30 something,
Yeah.
I believe.
So it's a place of prominent employment because it's hard to get in here. And
it
I'm
is.
sure there's quite a lot of people who would like these positions,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah, but like anything else, you guys aren't going anywhere,
Right.
so good luck
Yep.
with that.
It's a waiting game.
So if I didn't know about the French Creek Tavern, what could you tell me about it?
The staff's really good and friendly. They
are, yes.
They really make people feel comfortable when they walk
Right.
in the door. It's just a neat place to see. It's an old building. It's like taking a step back in the past. We still use a regular cash register. We don't have POS. And all our tickets are handwritten. The food's really good. The fish fry, the chicken wings, steak sandwiches, great.
It's about tradition,
Yep.
right? And it's
Yeah.
about honoring that tradition.
Yep.
And that's what you guys are doing here, all of you. And
Yeah.
It's an amazing place, man. It really is. And I haven't been to a place like this in so long. It's because it's not like, in Buffalo, they have the corner bars, but
Yeah.
this isn't a corner bar. Do you know what I mean? This is a real part of the community here.
Yeah.
I know those places are, but this serves a whole nother purpose and function. And it's the only one of its type, right?
It is,
I
yeah.
mean,
Yep.
this is it.
Great place.
So if I didn't know anything about this tavern, French Creek Tavern, what would you want me to know?
Well, I think I would want you to know that it's a friendly place where everyone's welcome, first of all. And I'd like to think that the food's always pretty good and consistent, which I think is very important. You can get a beer anywhere.
Yes.
You can get a Budweiser anywhere.
Yes.
So that's not the draw.
Right.
So good food, the kind of the stock, good food, good atmosphere type of thing.
And it is, 100%.
Yeah.
And it's one of the few places that we've had on the show that people consistently, all we have to do is mention we're coming here, and you're good for a couple
That's
minutes
good.
to hear about. So that tells you a lot about the type of goodwill that you've bred through the community here.
The one thing I do want to say, though, is that, I take a little credit for this place, but I'm only as good as the people I hire.
Right.
And those are the people that,
Right.
that keep the place going.
Yeah.
I do the administrative work and stuff, but I'm not on the scenes like these guys.
But you were for a long time.
Oh, absolutely.
You put in your years.
Oh, I did my
Yeah.
100 hours a week for
Yeah.
for years.
But
Yeah.
there's a